Welcome back to SmartBug on Tap, a weekly podcast offering short and actionable inbound marketing ideas you can apply to your B2B marketing strategies right away. My name is Shain, and I am VP of Marketing at SmartBug Media and host of this podcast. On today's episode, let's talk about intent. Intent data is a major factor of our marketing strategies, especially when it comes to ABM or account-based marketing. And I have a few thoughts around how you can work with a data provider to pull in buying intent insights into your CRM and run plays for both your sales and your marketing teams. Let's dive in. All right, how many of you marketers out there started out your year, maybe a quarter, with an announcement out to your company and your sales team saying, "We're kicking off ABM." And then when your sales team heard that, what they heard was, "Hey guys, go pick up the phone and call the accounts that we just assigned to you." And then what actually happened was that 0 leads came in from your target accounts. If you go out and Google, all right, why do ABM programs fail? You'll find a series of articles that list out a variety of reasons. But most common theme across all those is 3 situations. Either there's a lack of sales and marketing alignment, a lack of account insights, or a lack of buying signals and intent. So if I were to just back up a minute and say, give you a little bit of history on what my background was on ABM and how I got to where we were, how some of our ABM programs failed. I guess I should start by saying I implemented ABM once before and it failed. Looking back on it, it failed because we were identifying our accounts all wrong. What we had done was we started out by picking out a set of target accounts based on some false assumptions. And then I was told, don't change that list. If it takes 6 months, maybe more, for ABM to start working, so don't even touch it. Leave those accounts alone, keep what you've picked out, and just have it set to that. And what we did was we had picked out the accounts that best matched our ICP, our ideal customer profile. I'm going to get back to ICP because it's important, but that's all that we were using. Was we were using these filters for, are they the right vertical? Are they the right industry, geography, revenue size, or employee headcount? And that was a set list of accounts. I've also, in my past and my history with ABM, what we did is we picked out just recognizable logos or Fortune 500 companies. My personal favorite was once when we set up our target account list, we were selecting name brands that we use at home or in our personal life. And we were just saying, well, we like that brand, so that should be part of our target accounts that we want to go after. Well, then what? What happened was after we identified those accounts, we started to try to run those programs, and I was following all the books and courses that I had taken. And if you took the same ones as me, you were learning, well, we just need to run these sales plays, build up personalized content, and then you're trying to lure them in with what felt like personal marketing, right? But what we learned on both sides, marketing and sales, was that we were turning a blind eye to the everyday landscape, the everyday business landscape that was changing, and maybe new priorities were surfacing. The market landscape was changing. And so with each passing day, all these opportunities are being missed. Our budget was being burned, going after accounts who may never even convert. And even though they look like a possible fit, we would love to take them on as a perfect client for us. Who said that they were in a buying mode or that they were even in the right market for potentially needing our service? So intent data, that really evolved across the market, and it was generally turned out to be a much better model for us to design our ABM program around, especially when it came to account identification. So, and with intent, what I've learned to do is I wanted to kind of coin maybe a turnaround inboundified approach to ABM, because I wanted to pull in accounts still to our CRM, hand raisers, if you will, that wanted to speak with our sales team. But they learned about who our brand was because they were seeing ads from our end. And we knew which accounts to enroll into those ads because they were identified by the intent data on the front end. So we had to scrap the whole ABM program at the beginning because the way we were going about identifying accounts was all wrong. And what we really wanted to evolve and change was, let's set the list of target accounts based on who's showing buying signals, who's showing intent, and then let that list grow or shrink depending on what's happening in the market. Are they still in a buying mode? And then that can be what dictates our ABM programs moving forward. ultimately we threw out the notion that you had to set your target account list once and for all and don't touch it. And I started to really absorb the idea and the concept that a target account list can and should be a dynamic list of accounts that flows naturally with the buying state. When a buyer is in the market for a product or a solution or looking to solve that challenge, they're showing intent. But if they're not, and maybe it's this dream logo you want to sell to, but they're not showing intent, leave them alone. Or maybe they'll eventually come around to your site. But again, not the right target for a target account list. So this requires some tools, definitely a data provider, in order to help you flag and identify which companies are showing intent. But with the right tools in place, you can give your sales team high quality, high propensity leads that are ready and willing to engage. And then it's a matter of just right time, right message. It's also really important that you act on your intent data in a quick manner. We have some of our filters set up so that when an account is surging and showing intent on a specific topic, we find out right away. So we're getting real-time insights. But then I have an SLA with our sales team and with our kind of digital campaigns that we're running, that those are going to start running right away. Within at least 24 hours, we're doing our initial outreach. And then it starts with kind of within that first week, they're getting enrolled into digital campaigns, into outbound sequences. And then we have some different campaigns that last up to 4 weeks or 12 weeks, depending on the path that they're on. Okay, so I showed you grand vision. In about 3 minutes, I'm going to walk you through how to get there. And then hopefully if you have any other questions, feel free to shoot them my way. So how do I do it? I'm using intent data that signals that are powered by ZoomInfo. It's really similar to if you were to use other kind of data providers or kind of layer on intent signals that maybe you're getting from Bombora or Clearbit could offer you some of that kind of sales data intelligence. Definitely Rollworks has intent data built into it. So I like to kind of layer on a lot of those, but ZoomInfo is our first platform that identifies what accounts we should be targeting. And then I combine that insight with, so I layer on of all of the accounts that are showing intent for the set list of topics that we are looking for, which ones match our ICP. So this is where ICP comes back into play. I don't care if every single size company across the entire world is showing intent for the topics that we care about. I want to narrow that full broad list of everyone showing intent for that down to the right size company in the right geography, the right revenue or growth rate, the right marketing budget, or whichever function or department you're selling into, right budget for them. And then you can also start to build out the right buying committee. So do they have the types of personas, the job titles that you want to sell into? And if all of those things align, that company is showing intent and matches your ICP, then we're using an automated workflow to create that account record inside of our CRM, our HubSpot instance. It's really important that it's just the company record. We're not pushing over all these contacts automatically. It's just the company record that's flagging intent. And then I split up responsibilities and it turns into 2 paths to try to approach this account. So air cover is coming from marketing. We're enrolling them into digital campaigns. And then there's direct outreach that's happening from the sales team on a one-to-one basis. And they're doing their research to identify the right person at the company and using platforms like Sales Navigator and also sequences within HubSpot for their outreach in order to engage those contacts. Again, we had an SLA set up. So how quickly are we approaching those contacts? And part of the campaign design was within the first 4 weeks. So the sales sequence lasts between 1 to 3 weeks or so, kind of depends on how the rep had designed it. But the marketing fast track is for the first 4 weeks, while they're showing intent, we ask them if they would like to set up a consultation to meet with us and talk about our services that we can offer. This would be a good time to promote the requested demo if you're a technology provider. And then if you don't convert them on the hand-raising activity, the most prime call to action you could offer, then enroll them in a slow track. So designing where our next phase of ads are more aligned to the content that would be aligned to an intent topic. So for us, if we're an inbound marketing agency, and if someone's looking or doing some research on inbound marketing in general, After 4 weeks, if they're not interested in taking a consultation with our sales team, we progress them forward into content. So quick wins for lead generation guide or how to get your inbound marketing campaigns up and running quickly are just a couple of the types of pieces of asset that we would, really promote and try to drive a content lead and then slowly nurture them back way our lead funnel. Ultimately, the sales and marketing team has one goal. It's to generate more initial calls, more deals into our pipeline. And as soon as those leads are on either path are kind of hitting that goal, then they get unenrolled and we say, great, goal met, and they've met it. So long story short, I'm using intent data and other actionable signals to really run our ABM program. It's what identifies our accounts, but it's also what's setting the topics and the themes for each of those different campaigns throughout. And by doing so, we were able to reach 3x the target account audience and really uncover larger opportunities at a much faster close rate because we knew they were in a buying mode. We knew they're ready to go. Well, there you have it. That's intent data in about 10 minutes or so. What other ideas or questions do you have in terms of optimizing your inbound marketing engine? I'd love to hear about them. Email me at marketing@smartbugmedia.com or tweet me at smartbugmedia. Thanks for joining.